Hey everybody, Jake McIntyre, Kelly Wright Real Estate. So we've just recently had our annual beginning of the year economic forecast meeting. This is something that is we have an institute with at the University of Utah called the Chem C. Gardner Policy Institute. If you like to be nerdy about demographic information, this group really analyzes all of the data that helps our policy makers make decisions. Okay, so that's boring, but it's also very helpful. So a lot of people always ask me as a real estate agent, what's coming down in the future. This type of information answers that question and influences the type of markets that we experience here in Utah. So I'm going to include this slideshow in the links down below. I'm only touching on like 8 of the pages, so stick with me. If you're looking to buy a home this year or next year, this is valuable information, okay? So let's dive in here and try and make a little bit of sense out of it. So the first one, this is just an important thing. This isn't about necessarily forecasting, but it's the difference between net wealth of people between renters and homeowners. And let me zoom in here a little bit. This probably isn't going to surprise too many people, but as of 2021, the difference is $396,000 for a homeowner and about $10,000 for a renter. Okay, I say that just to illustrate that do what you've got to do for yourself to become a homeowner, because you will increase wealth over time. The numbers are there and plain to see. But let's talk about some of these things that are going on in Utah that are affecting our real estate market. If you've watched any of my other videos, you know I'm realistic. It's expensive. It's expensive across the country. And these are some of the reasons why. So we see here we've got an old Utah versus a new Utah. We used to be considered a small state. Now we're about a mid-sized state. I think we just broke the 3.4 million citizens in the state of Utah. Internal growth to external growth, 61% of growth is from migration in the last couple of years. We are far more diverse culturally, which is a good thing, just in the last couple of years. We used to be 11.5% of our population was 65 and older. Now it's 20%. This is probably a phenomenon that's going to be taking place in every state across the country as our boomers are aging. And we've done some videos on that stuff as well. Economically speaking, so we are becoming an elite economy. We are a well-run state. Job growth is consistent with the best in the nation. Okay, there's a lot of big companies coming here. Let's see, let's run on down to here. Population by growth. So Davis and Weber County are the areas that I mostly focus on. Mostly what I want to focus, just stumbling over myself. Salt Lake and Utah County, definitely much more growth. The tech sector of Utah County is absolutely incredible. But we see here about a 0.5% growth in Weber County, 1.4% in Davis County. With the bulk of this coming in, Utah County, 3.1%. That was huge. And it's not just from making babies. Okay, let's scroll on down here to our next one. Look, some people may not want to talk about this, but Utah's unaffordable market, historically speaking, if we go back to the year 2000, it was pretty affordable. I remember working with people that wanted to buy or sell. You just did it because you wanted to. It wasn't a very scary question mark. But look where we've skyrocketed to. These are numbers coming at the end of 2022. We're really falling. This is the median sales price as it reflects to the median income. It's the most expensive that we've ever seen. Okay, this is why and I hash this out in all of my videos, if you are interested in becoming a homeowner, but you haven't contacted a professional to answer the questions on can that happen today or can that happen in a year or two or whatever the case may be, you're going about it blindly, and you need to understand the different programs and the different criteria to help you become a homeowner. Okay, and the same is true for people that are homeowners and have been in their home for a few years. How does this look for you to get out of your current home that's too big, too old, it's in the wrong location, whatever the case may be? Is answering these questions. That doesn't mean it has to happen instantly. Create a plan. Okay. This is an interesting graphic. And I don't think a lot of this is going to come as a big surprise to a lot of people. But this goes back to 2018 to 2023. The median monthly payment, this is what this checkered line is. Currently, at the time of the presentation, the median monthly payment is about $3,100 a month. And the median sales price is about $486,000. This is down from a high where we were closer to about $550,000. Prices have come down. Here you can see it. The median sales price has taken a dip. It's right there. But if we see interest rates dropping quite a bit, this median monthly payment price is going to come down, improving affordability, and we will see the median sales price go back up. That's really kind of what the expectation is over the next couple of years. Okay, we're on 17. Okay, starter home prices. Starter home prices is the assumption of 80% of the median sales price. At that mark, where you would expect first-time home buyers, starter homes. Okay, we peaked at 432,000, and you can see that has come down a little bit. But if you refer back to the previous slide that I was just looking at, this chart should go back up in the next couple of years. Okay, we're going to take a big jump. I'm just hitting on the good stuff here. You can take time to look through these other graphs if you'd like. Total balance delinquency in the third quarter of 2023. This is to give you a good idea of the stability of the economy. And I know we've got inflation. Trust me, I just have looked at our grocery bills in the last month or so, and I was wondering where the rest of it was. But if we look at the state of the economy as related to delinquencies, if you go back here where it's really peaked, this is 09 and 2010, and I remember those days. We're not even close to those numbers right now. However, you see a little bit of a jump right here at the very end. So that could be increasing, but overall, as we compare it to 14 years ago, and if you were in the real estate world back then, you know how rough that was. We're not even close to that. We were up to about 12% back then, and right now we're about 3%. We're about a quarter of where we were. And in large part, this is due to the equity positions that people are in. Okay, so here's big picture stuff. Okay, you see how the affordability challenge is. We see how Utah is changing. You see the type of economy that Utah has. We need a lot of housing units to meet future demand. Projections are by about 2050, I believe, we'll be growing about 66%. We'll be over 5 million people in the state. Like I said, we just broke 3.4 million. So there is tremendous demand. I just was out with some buyers in the Ogden area just last week, and the question is, how's this market going to look in the future? That's all I can point to is what the projections are in the future, is how many people are going to be moving here, how many babies we're going to have, how many of them are going to stay, and what all of our political decision makers, the information they're looking at to influence policy. All right, so we've got 178,000 units are needed to meet the projected demand of 248,000 by 2030. So we already have kind of a shortfall built in there. I've done other videos as well where the state of Utah wants to build these starter homes, and we need to do like 28,000 a year to meet these projections in growth. So if demand is going to stay strong and is going to increase, this would lead one to the conclusion that real estate values are going to do well. If we can't meet this demand, though, we'll see affordability strained even further. What does all this mean? Again, you're one person, you're looking to buy one property and make that your own. It's important to understand the market as a whole, but you have to ask the question for yourself and answer that question by reaching out to somebody that can get you those answers. Can you buy now? Should you buy? How does it look for your situation? And what options would you have if you do? And then make an informed decision from there. And that's all I ever offer to anybody. When people call me up, it's like, well, let's take a look at things and see what makes sense for you. Because if it doesn't make sense, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to be the first one. They're not going to take you out running around looking at houses that you shouldn't buy or couldn't buy, etc. And the same is true for homeowners. If you've been in your home for a few years and you need to make a change, let's look at all the moving parts that are required to make that happen. All of this stuff is going to happen regardless of what you do. But let's look at the details that influence your particular needs. All right, hopefully that makes sense and was somewhat interesting. Again, KMC Gardner, you can go to their website. There is so much demographic information on there. It's very interesting. So, have a great day. It's a very snowy day today. Stay safe.